Welcome back to Insert Brain here, a Simpsons podcast. I'm your host, David, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Connor.
Hello.
And today we're going to be doing Season 1, Episode 12, Krusty Gets Busted, which the original air date was April 29th, 1990.
That's the one, aye.
Perfect. So, Connor, what did you think? What's the plot of this Krusty Gets Busted?
Well, the plot of Krusty Gets Busted is actually quite simple.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's
Okay, you get the easy ones.
Krusty the Clown robs the Quickie. Yeah, he gets busted. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, sounds great.
It would appear as though Homer is going to buy ice cream.
Yeah.
At the Quickie Mart from a poo.
Yep.
And Krusty the Clown is there, and he appears to rob the Quickie Mart.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out a big handgun. And he points it at a poo, and he empties the register. He's dressed as Krusty the Clown, but with the bandana type thing on his eyes.
Yeah, a little patch over his eyes, kind of thing.
Like a
superhero mask.
A Zorro kind of mask.
Yes, yeah.
And then Krusty gets arrested and dragged through the court system and in the media for being a criminal, a former children's entertainer, and his trusty sidekick Sideshow Bob takes over the Krusty the Clown show, makes it his show. But Bart believes in Krusty's innocence, and he, with the help of Lisa, does some investigating and comes to the conclusion that Krusty was framed by Sideshow Bob.
Very good.
And he is correct, and Sideshow Bob is arrested and thrown away, and Krusty is set free. All is well.
Your plot ones are so much more concise.
About 30 seconds of plot.
I'm scatterbrained to all shit, and it's like 8 minutes of me talking nonsense.
8 minutes on a
Every time
fast
you
one,
lift
mate.
something up, that coaster goes with it.
8 minutes on a fast one.
Yeah.
I don't even think we've hit the 5 minute mark. This is quite a simple episode plot wise.
It is, and you seem to get the simple episodes, I think. You just fucking simplify it like you're supposed to do when you do a fucking plot analysis. We're not doing a full breakdown, it's
Not
just a fucking summary. And I do a scene by scene almost every time, and several scenes are in the wrong order.
There's not even really a B plot.
No, there's really not. It's just a single plot, and there's barely 3 acts in this one. I think you could probably split it up if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
but
let's save these kind of thoughts for our segment when we talk about what we thought about the episode.
That's a good point. That's a good point. We're about to go into it. So, first appearances. So
I mean Ion Springfield. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. This is our world famous segment, Ion Springfield, where we talk about the first appearance, characters who have made their first appearance in this very episode.
Yes.
Kicking us off is a big one, first appearance of Kent Brockman.
Oh yes, the news anchor.
Yes, he's mentioned initially as being the news anchor for that station, but he's got the day off.
Yes.
So someone else fills in for him, and he appears later on in the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Kent Brockman. I feel like he's one of those characters that easily could have fallen to the wayside. But he
hasn't.
Yeah, he's still in modern episodes, and he's still funny and relevant as well.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Kent Brockman?
I like him. I think it's he ends up kind of like the kind of like a lot of news anchors do end up.
Yeah.
They end up becoming like a kind of an icon of their own.
Yes.
Like you spend like 20 years or something watching or seeing someone on the news.
Less so now.
Yeah, a lot less now, I would imagine.
And again, there's that guy on Fox News that everyone knows. The guy that sucks. Who got fired recently.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
We're in the UK, and even we know that guy is a dickhead.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's something.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a reputation, I guess.
It's a bad one, but what can you do?
But it's there.
First appearance of Judge Snyder.
Who does not look remotely like it.
Or sound like he usually does.
Yes.
Judge Snyder, I believe, is usually black.
Yes.
And he has a completely different voice.
And also a completely different looking face from what I saw in that.
He looks vaguely similar. He has kind of the same head shape and
He has the same head shape in that, but he's these wrinkle marks and all this other stuff. He looks like a...
He's usually wearing glasses in future appearances as well.
Right.
Little kind of half moon, crescent moon.
Right. Yeah.
Not here.
No.
Not here. He's still got his little chin beard.
Oh, yeah.
He has in future appearances.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few characters, as we've sort of noted along the way, that just aren't quite right.
Yeah, they're a little off model, or maybe haven't evolved fully into their final look.
Yeah.
First appearance of Scott Christian. Now, David. Who is Scott Christian? They introduce him in the episode by his name. I'll tell you that for free. You're having an aneurysm over there.
I am. Scott Christian. Who the fuck? Is he the replacement anchor?
Yes.
Right, there we go.
Yes.
Got there eventually.
Oh, we did. I cut out 3 hours of humming and hawing.
Yes, yeah, you did. Easily. 3 hours of hours and hours of fucking wrong guesses.
There we go.
Yeah.
Scott, he's the TV news anchor who fills in for Kent Brockman at the beginning to report on Krusty being arrested.
Right.
There we go. He appears on and off in the future.
Right.
This isn't an only appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And last up in Ion Springfield, District Attorney.
Is that it? Just District Attorney?
Yeah, his real name is not officially known. He's never been named, but he does show up in a few episodes.
Is that the guy that was defending Krusty, or the other dude with the jowls?
That's the guy with the jowls.
Right. Fair enough.
That's the District Attorney.
That's the guy that I said he's going to show up in this segment, and I'm going to have no fucking clue who he is.
And I had to quickly Google what his name was, and his name is District Attorney.
Very good.
While we were getting set up, I Googled that character to add him in.
Explicitly because I asked.
Yeah, because you went, I'm not going to guess who that guy is, and I was like, perfect.
Yeah, and then you find that his name is District Attorney.
And I was like, shit, he's probably going to get that.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, we're going to need to stop making a podcast because something's not right.
At the very least, we're going to need to stop our law podcast, which is called what, Connor?
Breaking and making. Breaking laws and making laws. That's what I do. I'm a white man and I'm making laws to oppress you.
Fucking hell.
And then I'm breaking laws and I'm getting away with no consequences.
Aye. That's one hell of a stereotype.
That's a fucking podcast.
It really is. It really is.
We need to
make these. We need to get around to continuing the episodes. I mean,
yeah. When we finish The Simpsons, we can get back to our other 600 podcasts. That is the end of our famous segment, Ion Springfield.
Yep. I reckon you're going to regret this. We're on what? Episode fucking 12?
Yes, episode 12.
Episode 12. Did I even mention that at the start? I think I did.
No.
Season 1, episode 12. Yeah, I'm sure I said that.
You read it off the screen, that's why you don't remember.
That is exactly why.
You read it off your prompter.
Yeah, I need a teleprompter, mate.
Aye.
I really do. Just for the intros that I'm doing. It's worth the money. What is it, like 80 quid or something?
It's like 600.
Oh, fucking hell. Well worth it.
Can't record a thing without it.
No, not the damn thing. If you want me to talk shit, I'll do that all day.
We're sitting here in the studio with our suits on.
Yeah. Fucking sweating, which is why.
Suits with Simpsons inlay.
Yeah, of course. Looks beautiful.
It sure does.
If only you could see it.
I'll get those cameras one day. We blew all our budget on the set and on the suits and on your teleprompter.
The tailor-made suits, and on the fucking teleprompter.
And getting the rights to The Simpsons.
Oh, fucking hell.
That was a big one.
I bet.
Aye.
Why the hell were we asking Disney to do something for The Simpsons last episode then?
It was a one time. It's a one way deal that we pay Disney money and get nothing in return.
That sounds more feasible.
We get
that
our cheeks clapped by Disney on the deal.
Perfect.
I'm editing all this out because one day we might become an official Disney podcast.
If we can't do
Suck that mouse cock.
Fucking Jesus.
What did you think of this episode, David?
Oh shit! I thought it was good. I liked it. I thought the we'll come into a bit more depth about the animation and the color grading and everything that was going on.
We get to our other segment, yes.
Yeah, but overall, I liked the episode. I liked the way it was laid out, the plot, and the fact that it all seemed to run in one. There was no B plot as well. I still quite liked that. I do like a bit of a B plot going on, something interesting or whatever. I quite liked it.
I liked how focused it was.
Yes, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's different from pretty much all of the other ones.
Yeah,
so
and
far.
For all it's a Krusty, I guess you could consider this a Krusty spotlight episode. He's barely in it.
Yeah.
He shows up in the opening, obviously.
Yeah.
He gets arrested, and then he's out of the show. He shows up in the courtroom briefly, but it feels like he's peppered throughout. He's not. It's
really
still focusing on. It's still a Bart.
Yeah.
An episode where Bart is the protagonist.
Yes. It's titled after Krusty, and it's about Krusty, but it's really, really about Bart.
It's really a Bart episode.
Yeah.
I like the mob mentality, the Reverend Lovejoy going on like a religious tirade and burning all the Krusty imagery and merchandising.
Yeah, there's a lot of similes going on with like some of what was going on in the episode and
what was going on at the time in
what
America.
Was going on in real life and what was going on at the time and what was going on in history as well.
Aye, there was a lot of
there was a couple of underhanded jokes in there that weren't said,
Christian
but were really
Panic was quite big in America in the late 80s, early 90s. Mortal Kombat and metal music and D&D were all being targeted by these Christian groups.
Yeah, exactly.
Having been sent by the devil.
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, exactly.
A few years Beavis and Butthead were like 2 years after this, but close enough.
Yeah, aye. But it's same sort of time.
Aye.
And there was a few underhanded sort of jokes and things like that about that weren't really said but were heavily implied.
Yeah.
It's
interesting seeing Reverend Lovejoy take on this role. I feel like if this episode was made now, and we say that quite a lot, but if that would be Ned Flanders, because Reverend Lovejoy doesn't care.
yeah, exactly.
He's evolved as a character into someone who is completely disinterested in everything. Besides his having sex with his wife.
Yeah.
And his train collection in his basement, his little toy railway set.
Yeah.
Even he's not even interested in his daughter, Jessica Lovejoy.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think shows up maybe in a season or two.
Right.
Maybe 3 or 4 seasons. But yeah, it's an interesting take on Reverend Lovejoy in a role that I don't think we would ever see him in now.
I don't think so, no. No, I reckon it might be, maybe he hadn't actually gotten married yet.
Huh?
Maybe he hadn't gotten married yet.
No, we've met Helen Lovejoy. We met her in Life in the Fast Lane.
Oh, yeah. No,
she mentions that she's the gossipy wife of Reverend Lovejoy. Yeah, they're married.
Okay, well, maybe they're just not having sex.
They're not into the kinky shit yet.
Aye, that'll be it.
He's not got those trains in his basement yet.
He's not got the trains in the basement and the other door that goes past that segment of the basement.
Into a red room.
Yeah, aye.
Let's get back to the episode.
Aye, sure.
Speaking of busting, Krusty gets busted in this episode.
Krusty gets busted, yes.
I think the mystery element of the episode works really well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you...
Oh, smack that down on the floor.
If you're familiar with the show, you know that Krusty doesn't spend the rest of the series in jail.
Yeah, aye.
He's the host of and Sideshow Mel gets introduced, and Sideshow Bob is obviously a recurring villain.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in terms of this, when it first aired, it gives you the clues to figure out who committed the crime as an audience member.
Yes.
So you can figure it out.
Yeah, because it's not until the very last minute that they figure it out. Yeah. So it gives you every opportunity to figure it out in advance.
Like the anti-pacemaker sign is on the microwave in the first scene.
Yes, it is.
It's not something that they
added later. Yeah. Like we said, I like it. I like the episode. I would say, I said this pretty much when we were watching it.
Yeah.
Or just after we were watching it. I think, I know it's the timing's off, so it wouldn't have been a parody of it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't exist yet. But I still think Krusty Gets Busted should have been Krusty Got Fingered.
As a parody of the movie, the title of the movie, Freddy Got Fingered.
That's the one, which came out like 10 years after.
2001. So actually 11 years.
11 years after this came out. But it still would have been, I know it's not going to have worked, obviously, because of the timing, but it still would have been a
Freddy
much
Got
better
Fingered
title.
Also isn't about someone being framed for a crime.
I know, but it just, the pun would have been great. And later on in that episode,
Homer says he's sorry for fingering him in
court. Yeah.
Well, you can find out more about that in our Freddy Got Fingered podcast. The child molester. He says he's a molester. He's a child molester. Or Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausage? A Tom Green podcast. We talked about the movie Freddy Got Fingered with Tom Green.
Yes. Oh, fucking hell.
That's the one.
Yes, that is the title of it.
Of our other podcast. That we do with Tom Green.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Perfect.
Are you excited?
I am always excited.
So am I. It's time for 3 Blind Mice trivia.
Woo!
Krusty's onstage heart attack
looked fucking horrifying.
It was an incredible bit of animation, which
the
really animation good. Later inspires the episode where Homer has a heart attack.
Yeah.
And they do that similar over animated style.
Yeah.
But it was inspired by British comedian Tommy Cooper.
Oh, right, yeah.
He actually did have a heart attack on stage and died.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
In the middle of his set.
Yeah. I'm maybe thinking of the wrong person, but was he the guy that always wore the sort of like red Turkish hat thing?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure that was him. Because I didn't see that when he died, obviously.
I think it was in the 80s.
But I did actually, I used to watch some of his, like, reruns of his stuff.
Yes, he did have a red fez.
Yeah.
1984 is when he died.
Nice.
Nice?
Not nice. I mean, nice that I got the guy right and I was thinking of the right guy.
Right.
Not that he died. I really liked his comedy shows and stuff. It was really good.
I think I've seen clips of it, but never. Oh, you can actually watch the video on YouTube of him having a heart attack and dying.
Of course you fucking can. Jesus Christ.
That was sad. Anyway.
There'll be a clip of it here. No, there's not. No, because that'd be not very nice.
Moving on.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones was considered for the role of Sideshow Bob.
Really?
Yeah.
Mufasa?
Yeah, Darth Vader, yes. Darth Vader was considered for the role of Sideshow Bob. Eddie Murphy's dad in Coming to America.
Yeah.
Man, I love James Earl Jones.
He's so good.
He does voice...
He's really funny as well.
Yeah, he's surprisingly
he's done some like interviews and stuff, and he's really
my
funny.
favourite character in Coming to America. A film which has like a lot of really comedic actors in it.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, obviously.
Yeah.
He's probably the funniest character in the entire film.
Definitely. It's been too long since I've actually watched that. I need to watch that again. Or you can listen to it on our
on our other podcast. Fuck You Too, a Coming to America podcast.
Oh man.
He does show up in the Simpsons.
We've got zero time in our lives, by the way.
Podcasting is taking over
everything.
It's all the production company TR22 Productions makes. It's just podcasts. It's our podcasts.
That's it.
That one that we do with Tom Green.
Yeah. At least he picks up a little bit of the slack on the editing.
You think he edits the podcast himself?
Yeah, why not? He's fucking doing a podcast with us. He might as well.
The star has fallen if he's doing a podcast with us.
That is true.
James Earl Jones obviously does show up in future Simpsons episodes as other characters. He does not play Sideshow Bob. Kelsey Grammer from Frasier. And you don't know that?
No. I just clicked. I never really put those two together.
Kelsey Grammer from Cheers and Frasier.
Yeah.
And he was Stinky Pete in Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
He's the voice of Sideshow Bob.
All right. Well, never really actually put that together.
What? There you go. I assumed you knew that.
No, I like now that you said it, I can see him doing it.
Yeah.
But never clicked that one.
There was a never animated scene that would have featured Patty and Selma talking about being arrested on their way back into the USA because they were smuggling heroin.
I really wish that was animated.
Me too. Even if it was a deleted scene.
Oh, I really wish that was done.
Man.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Brad Bird, who was a producer who was working on the show at the time.
Yeah.
We've spoken about this before. Director of The Incredibles and The Iron Giant and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
He took care to stage all the actions of the robbery so they could be captured from one angle at a spot where a security camera would realistically be.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it does look like
it does
very realistic convenience store security footage.
Yes, it is. Considering it's an animated cartoon,
yeah,
it looks really, really realistically shitty CCTV.
Some live action shows get that wrong.
So many you're just like, mate, that's not a security camera. That is obviously someone just standing there.
I love when they do that in shows like CSI and they're like, zoom.
Yeah.
Pan left 23 pixels.
Yeah.
Enhance, and it becomes clear like it's a separate fucking photograph.
Infuriates me. It infuriates me when they just go enhance.
And it just
and they just enhance it into a fucking macro image of whatever the hell it was before. I mean, you can't generate those fucking pixels from nowhere.
The one time it's been done that I will accept is in Blade Runner.
Right. Well,
fancy sci-fi camera.
Exactly.
Sure, it can. Why not?
Sure. Exactly. Maybe it's not even needing to be enhanced technically. It's probably just a saying, because what would probably have been happening there is it would have a couple of million pixels in the actual image to start with, and all you're really doing is just zooming in on it properly. That's realistically what would have happened or something.
Yeah. Aye.
Whereas all these other ones, all like modern day or 20 years ago films.
Yeah, set in 2001.
Exactly.
And they're like, enhance, clarify.
Enhance my ass. That is not happening.
Sideshow Bob was originally intended to be a non-speaking character who would communicate only through his slide whistle.
I think you said that last time
we saw him. This is not Sideshow Bob's first appearance, obviously.
No, it's not. Yeah,
he appeared in the Telltale Head.
Yes, that's it.
The episode where Bart steals the head of the statue.
Because that was mentioned on with Krusty, and Krusty and Sideshow Bob were in the mob. Weren't they?
Aye.
Yeah. In the mob with all those fucking weirdos.
Speaking of weirdos, the kids that go to see Sideshow Bob and Krusty's shows in this.
It's not quite as bad.
No. There's been improvements, but they're still a
bit janky.
Ghoulish.
And several have got the exact same spectacles as well. They're all like big, thick-rimmed, blatantly obvious glasses.
Like something from the Beano.
Yeah.
Or the Dandy or whatever, yeah.
For Americans, that's a British comic.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, why not?
They know who Dennis the Menace is, because they have a version of Dennis the Menace in America.
Oh, yeah. Dennis the Menace movie.
Yes.
Fucking blonde Dennis.
I saw that as a kid and I was so
fuming.
Angry.
I was fuming.
Why doesn't he have his black hair and his striped jumper? And we've never had a live action version of that Dennis the Menace.
No. I'm pretty sure Gnasher wasn't even the right type of dog either.
I don't think Gnasher was in it.
Was he not even in it?
No, he maybe has a dog, but it's not Gnasher, I don't think.
Oh my god.
Anyway, when Krusty is wearing his orange prison jumpsuit, his prison number on the front of the uniform is A113.
All right.
A113 appears in many Disney Pixar movies and other projects. It's everywhere now. It refers to room 113 at CalArts College, famous for its alumni, including many Pixar animators, such as Brad Bird, who produced this episode.
That'll be why.
It's like it's in Toy Story. It's in Monsters Inc.
Right, fair enough.
Here's a list.
Isn't it like wasn't it door like 113 or something in Monsters Inc?
It was one of the yellow jumpsuit guys that come down at the end.
Right.
It's the license plate on a car in one of the Toy Story movies.
Hold on a minute, Connor.
Aye.
What room was the animation room in the college? In our college.
Did that room have a number on it?
They all had numbers. I think...
We were not in 113, surely.
You weren't. But remember when we were doing the course before, and then I went into animation and graphic design.
Yeah.
And animation.
Was that 113?
I think that was 113. That's a weird fucking coincidence.
That is a weird coincidence. Yeah, anyway. Krusty the Clown is based on a Portland children's radio and TV clown called Rusty Nails.
Fucking hell.
Little known.
That is dire.
I think Matt Groening watched Rusty Nails or knew of Rusty Nails because he was from that area, and one other person who worked on the show knew Rusty Nails.
Right.
And that was it.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, little known.
Yeah.
Aye.
He must have been a pretty terrible clown, to be fair, if Krusty is based on.
Rusty Nails.
It sounds not great.
Kent Brockman mentions Tupelo as being where Krusty made his start as a mime. This is the hometown of Elvis. Elvis Presley.
Nice. Did not know that either.
There we go.
I know very little about Elvis.
Me too.
But we're learning more on our podcast about Elvis.
Called Marrying 14-Year-Olds, an Elvis Presley podcast. Fuck that guy. Brad Bird animated the heart attack scene himself. He also directed this episode.
Sorry, fucking hell. He did the animation, or some of the animation at least, for the heart attack scene, did you say?
He animated the entire heart attack scene himself.
All right, awesome. Very good.
As Krusty is entering the court, Bart says to him, "Say it ain't so, Krusty."
Mm-hmm.
According to legend, a small boy said to baseball player Shoeless Joe Jackson, "Say it ain't so, Joe," as Jackson left the courthouse following the Chicago White Sox World Series fixing scandal in 1919.
I heard about that.
Did you?
Yeah. I heard about that Say it ain't something. I think it might have been a sports thing that I was watching at one point that might have said that.
I think it's referenced in an old Western movie as well.
Could be.
There's a character who says something like, "Say it ain't so."
I feel like that is right. Hey, take it as fact. Why not?
That's why it's called Three Blind Mice Trivia.
You're fucking right. Wait, I got no idea.
I'm blind like Mr. Magoo here. You can find out more on our Mr. Magoo podcast. Leslie Nielsen, R.I.P.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He played Mr. Magoo in the live action movie.
He did.
The episode opens with Krusty's face on his show.
Leslie Nielsen, he was awesome.
Yeah, I fucking love Leslie Nielsen as well. Let's do a Leslie Nielsen podcast.
We're doing a Leslie Nielsen podcast.
I'm pulling the plug on the Simpsons podcast right now.
It's gone. Scrapped. You're never hearing it. Never making it to air.
The episode opens with Krusty's face on his show. The second act opens with Krusty's face behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
And the third act opens with Sideshow Bob's face.
Oh yeah, okay, I see you can split it quite nicely in that. That's good.
Sam Simon,
one
of the producers on the show, wrote the theme song to Itchy and Scratchy.
Awesome.
Triple chocolate being a flavour. This is going to kill you. Was an outlandish joke in 1990. It is now a very real and common flavour. Back in 1990, they only had chocolate and double chocolate. The idea of doing triple chocolate was like, wow, can you imagine if there was a company that did triple chocolate?
Now, this might be bullshit, but was white chocolate even a thing?
Yeah, because the Milky Bar Kid is a...
Yeah, but was it even still called white chocolate at that point? Because I think it was just Milky Bar. I don't think there was, other than the Milky Bar Kid and Milky Bar chocolate, I don't really think there was very much white chocolate at all. I don't even think it would have been called white chocolate either.
White chocolate was first commercially available in 1936.
Well, there you go.
Get fucked.
Bullshit.
Fucking ruined.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, because let's face it, triple chocolate. You've got dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and white chocolate.
It was because of World War One. It was utilising excess milk powder during World War One. Also, obviously, a shortage of cocoa powder.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Fair enough.
Ruined, mate. Absolutely destroyed.
Perfect.
I think it existed in Switzerland or somewhere, some country like that before.
Probably. I don't doubt that. I'm just thinking more along the lines of America here.
It may not have been in America in 1936, but there's no way to know for certain. It definitely
probably didn't take that long to get into 1990. I'm just thinking more along the lines of, was it known commercially as white chocolate?
Yes.
Because then, like at that point, surely the natural thing would be to see the progression from double chocolate to white chocolate as triple chocolate. You know what I mean? You cannot be heard. You are not next to a mic.
So yeah, you were saying about white chocolate and dark chocolate and double chocolate and triple chocolate and chocolate.
Exactly. So double chocolate would have been, unless maybe the whole point of it was the original sort of double chocolate wasn't actually, it was like chocolate flavored with chocolate chips and some other stuff.
Maybe.
And it wasn't actually milk chocolate and dark chocolate combined in the same product.
Could have been. Look, man, I'm not Willy Wonka.
We're on a Willy Wonka podcast, aren't we?
Called Wonkin' My Willy.
That's the one.
That one's getting cut out. That's not funny.
No.
I've improvised 6 podcast titles this episode. I'm fried.
I know. We're no also more. Fucking frying.
No more.
Right.
There's no glass in the windows of Krusty's apartment when the SWAT team comes in. Just sound effects.
Yeah, they don't actually break through anything. Also, how the fuck does Chief Wiggum actually fit through a window? Because he comes through he's the first person through the window.
He comes through the door.
I thought he was the first person through the window.
He comes through the door.
You sure?
It's just the SWAT team that comes in through the window, and he's in his.
I could have sworn that he popped in the first window from the left. So another random SWAT guy rocks in the door, and then other SWAT guys come in the other 2 windows.
No, I think he comes in through the door.
Fair enough. I might have just imagined that.
I think he did.
Because I was wondering how the fuck he fit through a window. I must have looked away and just looked back up and went, how the fuck?
The feet flying into Sideshow Bob's mouth meant to represent how he's put his foot in his mouth.
Right, yeah.
That's the end of 3 Blind Mice Trivia.
Perfect. That was very derailed, but perfect.
What a lovely segment. I love that segment.
Yes.
But you had a few things to talk about in this segment. Boy, I sure hope someone got fired for that blunder where we talk about errors in the show.
Basically. Yeah, errors in the
Mistakes
animation and
have
stuff.
Been made.
Or
errors in the
serious
writing.
Continuity issues and all that nonsense. Right, well, there was I did tell you to remind me of a few of these, but fuck it, we're here now.
That was me reminding you, throwing to you and being like...
I'm aware
that was my equivalent.
You should know it needs to be on the teleprompter. Bullet points, at least. I don't need word for word, just bullet points.
The entire script for this episode.
Yes.
We've already touched on Judge Roy Snyder being the wrong colour.
Yes. Chief Wiggum is also an off colour.
He's slightly darker than normal, and he has black hair and not blue
the
hair
sort of
or grey
blue or grey, which is sort of been a bit of both so far, I think.
Blue.
I think he's supposed to have blue hair, but it's like a bluish grey, isn't it? It's like a pale blue. Like he's gone grey, but he had blue hair.
No, yeah, it's a lighter blue than like a Millhouse blue.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's generally to sort of represent that he's getting older, getting on in years. But yeah, so he's got black hair and he's like it's like he's seen some sun, some serious sun.
Yeah, you'd almost think that they were trying to make him like Italian or something.
Yeah, Italian or like sort of like
Mexican?
Mixed or Mexican or something.
Yeah, something like that. But no, he's...
But yeah, no, he's supposed to be yellow.
Meaning Caucasian.
Yeah.
In the Simpsons universe.
Yep. We've also got, you said about the judge, we've got weird colorations going on when...
Lou, the cop, goes up
Lou.
Again in this episode,
and
it's once again coloured white.
Yeah, that could be, again, the sort of weird layout of the episodes again.
Maybe.
Might have muddled with that. Maybe they made the decision afterwards, but by that point they hadn't actually switched around the episodes.
I feel like he's meant to be black.
I reckon overall he's supposed to be, but this could be one of those ones that got screwed up and they had to recolor it, which is probably...
It was being animated in South Korea.
Right, well...
Not known for its large black population.
No, especially not in 1990.
No. You were saying.
But yes, there's other weird colorations going on as well. So there's like certain points in certain scenes where Homer's head is a different color from everything else and everyone else in the.
Marge has that as well.
And Marge has that when she's talking
everything
early
above
on. The necklace
is like a lighter color.
Is it like a pale color, and the rest of her body and everyone else in shot is the standard yellow.
Yeah.
There's a few sequences where that's the case.
Krusty, it's implied that Krusty's heart attack is caused by him overindulging in pork products. And he has a famous line of pork products.
Yeah.
Krusty's Jewish.
Oh, yeah, so he is.
His father is a rabbi. His birth name is Herschel Krustofsky.
So he is.
So I don't think it could have been his indulging in pork products.
He also never ate any when he had a heart attack.
He's never seen eating pork. But
no.
Maybe that's just Kent Brockman or Scott Christensen or whoever is reporting at that time.
Yeah.
Misreporting the news?
Probably. I mean, it's about as reliable as the channels that it's pretending to be.
Also, they mention that Krusty is on a rival network in this episode.
Yeah.
And the network that Kent Brockman is on has its own clown called like Hobo the Clown or whatever.
Yeah.
However, in every future appearance, they're on the same network.
Right.
Channel 5, I think it is.
So one of them gets bought over.
Yeah.
Basically.
One of them purchases the other.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And
also very similar to real life then. They're all owned by the one.
That's all I had to say.
I honestly cannot remember the other ones that I was going to say. That's
the end of the segment, I guess.
Okay, I guess. Why not? I swear so much in this podcast.
Yeah, I'll need to edit some of those out.
Yeah, sorry.
We're trying to make this a family-friendly podcast.
Are we? Fuck. This is not a family-friendly podcast.
It really needs... It should be.
It should be. You had a GIMP mask on last time.
I forgot about last week's episode.
Yeah. Less family-friendly and...
more kink-friendly.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a brave new world. We're not kink-shaming
anyone.
People on Simpsons podcasts.
Exactly.
Final thoughts.
This
is how we wrap up. Yeah, Krusty's apartment is very basic. It looks like an old person's retirement apartment.
It does.
But Krusty is a millionaire.
Yeah.
It's just an apartment. It's not a house.
Yeah.
He's shown to live in like a much fancier location in some later episodes. Now, sometimes he's homeless and blah, 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 blah.
Mm.
Sometimes he loses his house. Sometimes... But in future episodes, he's not shown to live in this shitty little apartment. He lives in a worse location than Homer does.
Yeah.
Not worse than Barney.
No.
No one lives worse than Barney, except maybe Lenny.
Yeah.
But it's a strange design choice for Krusty's apartment.
Yeah. I guess maybe it was just one of those things they didn't really have the time, or...
Yeah, they were just like, throw an apartment.
Anything, yeah.
Also in this episode, Krusty's makeup comes off.
Yeah, that's pretty horrifying, the first couple of shots.
In future episodes, his skin is like dyed white.
So he's got it tattooed white?
Like the Joker, I guess.
Friggin' hell.
Something that a good point of continuity error.
What?
Boy, I sure hope someone got a raise for that, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
In all future Krusty appearances, he has a scar on his chest from his triple bypass surgery.
Nice.
Which he receives prior to this episode in 1986. That's something.
Yeah.
Got any final thoughts? Anything you want to touch on?
I liked the episode overall. There was a couple of bits, like we were saying before, that kind of like broke you out of the story because it was like a weird animation coloration or weird animation in general.
I think it's...
But I think overall, But I reckon that... I mean, we were looking at it fairly critically.
Yeah, I've seen this episode quite a few times.
Same here.
I want to just... we haven't really touched on it. I love Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
It's a really great first appearance. Mm-hmm. I love how the kids really enjoy his pretentious show.
Yeah.
In real life, that show would be off the air after one episode because no child would want to sit and watch
so much. Yeah.
Yeah, his show where he sits and reads, what is it, The Man in the Iron Mask?
Yeah, The Man in the Iron Mask, yeah.
He reads a chapter of The Man in the Iron Mask. in a smoking jacket.
Yeah.
In a red leather chair. Is a hit with children.
I know. But yeah, no, I like Sideshow Bob as well. He's awesome. Mm-hmm. One thing we haven't really touched on is the title sequence with Bart's chalkboard messages.
Yeah, we don't really make a note of that every time, and that we always forget to bring it up in the episode.
What was this one again? It was just a standard teacher phrase.
I know last week's episode it was something about garlic.
Yeah,
which is funny because that's the French episode.
Garlic chewing gum is not funny or something.
Yeah.
This one is they are not laughing with you; they're laughing at you.
No, it's the opposite. They're not laughing at you; they're laughing with you.
Is that what it was?
It's like a famous anti-bullying. It's not really anti-bullying.
It's
ignoring it. They're not very interesting. We couldn't.
No,
I'm not going to dedicate a segment to Bart's Chalkboard Minute. They probably get more interesting as the show goes on, but right now
so
they're really just
when they start making it a bit funnier,
establish his bad boy image.
Yeah. We don't really bring them up because they're not really interesting at the moment.
We'll try and bring them up in future episodes.
Yeah, we'll try and keep up with that one at least.
Aye.
Even if it's not interesting, we can at least mention it.
I think I've mentioned it in at least one previous episode.
We've done it a couple because it's like, there was one of them was in trivia. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're good to wrap it. Really.
Perfect.
Don't think we have anything else that we need to say.
No, I think that's everything. We can pretty much call it there.
Awesome. This was a Simpson podcast.
Insert brain here. I'm
gonna get it.
Okay.
It. This was Insert Brain here.
This has been
fucking Jesus. This has been Insert Brain here, a Simpson podcast. I've been your host, David. Mm-hmm. My co-host with me, as always, whatever, was Connor.
That's the one.
I normally say my name at the end.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm not sure you do.
At the last episode, I definitely did.
Okay. With me, as always, is my co-host, David.
Sure. This is a T for 22 production.
Yes, it is.
And have a good night.
Smell you later.
Smell you later.